Hello, thank you so much for joining me today on Super Pants Gaming for another PlayStation Pickups video. So we're going to start off, this is basically all the PlayStation games that I've picked up over about the last month, going back to the Milton Keynes Gaming Fair, and the first couple of pickups, I've got about 10 or 12 games here to show you. The first couple of pickups were from the Milton Keynes Gaming Market, so you may have already actually seen those in my Milton Keynes Gaming Market upload. The first one being God of War 2 on the PlayStation 2. And I'm mad pleased to have this into the collection. As you can see, it's in lovely condition. This originally came in a sort of generic sort of DVD case, and as you can see, I've put it into a black PS2 case, and it looks absolutely lovely now. And this was only £6, so I thought that was an absolutely awesome pickup. It's kind of a weird one. It's a game that I'm really surprised that I didn't actually have when I was collecting PlayStation 2 back sort of a decade ago. So yes, but God of War 2, mad pleased to have that into the collection. And the second and last game that came from Milton Keynes Gaming Market was The Thing, which is a game that I've actually been looking for a while, but I wanted a complete copy. And this one is complete in really nice condition. It has a sticker on the manual, which at some point I'm actually going to do a quick upload for you guys to show you how I actually remove the stickers from the manuals, and actually ask you guys, how do you remove them as well, sort of thing, because I don't know if what I do is the best way, but I'm going to show you what I do at some point anyway. So mad pleased to get that into the collection. That was a £5 from Milton Keynes Gaming Market again. So yes. And then sticking with PlayStation 2, the next one is also a game that I've shown you. Sorry, this is the last one that I think I've shown you. So that's Cell Damage Overdrive on the PlayStation 2 again. That was in my most recent £10 CEX Challenge video. And as you can see, that is in lovely condition as well, which is what we like. And a friend recommended this to me, I don't know, maybe a decade or so ago, a very, very long time ago. And yeah, this was just £2 in CEX. I've never actually found one in good condition, and I was mad pleased with this because it is in really nice condition. Every other copy of this that I've found in the last decade has been sandpitted, is what I basically call it, which is where a game's basically been played with in a sandpit by children. So yes, Cell Damage Overdrive, a little bit belated being added into the collection, but mad pleased to have it, and really looking forward to giving that a go. So, sticking with the PlayStation 2 now, I have a game here that I'm sure to some of you is an absolute grail. You know, that you won't see many copies of this, I'm telling you, and that is a Dr. Dolittle. And yes, I'm semi-trolling on that. In absolutely mint condition. So when I collected PlayStation 2 back in the day, and I decided I was going to get rid of the collection, I said to my sensible adult, I want to still collect sort of a subset of games. And I don't know why, the last 10 years or so, I've had a very sort of almost masochistic interest in terrible games on the PlayStation 2. And I decided to basically keep collecting Phoenix games, which are pretty much the worst of the worst, or one of. The other company that was in sort of in contention sort of for me to sort of keep collecting was Blast, but I didn't think Blast had as many games for me to sort of go at. And this is a Blast game. This will be absolutely terrible, and this was kind of just an opportunist pickup in CEX for £1, as you can see, while I was picking some other games up. And it looks like it's been played for 5 minutes and put back in the box, and it's absolutely, like, practically mint. So I don't like saying mint really, but it's really in really nice condition. It was £1. It will be absolutely terrible, and I will love playing it. So make of that what you will. And the real game that I actually went for while I was there was, or one of the games should I say, because there were 2 or 3 that I went to look for, was f.e.a.r 3, which is a PlayStation 3 game, which again is in really nice condition and complete. And this basically finishes off the f.e.a.r trilogy for me. I know there's f.e.a.r files as well, which I haven't got, but I've got the first 2 games of f.e.a.r on the PlayStation 3, so I forgot which PlayStation it was on then, on the PlayStation 3, and I've not actually finished the first game yet, but I've got the second game, and I've wanted to pick up the third game for a while to basically finish that off. I will probably look for f.e.a.r files in the future, but I'm not totally desperate to get that just yet, and I thought that was a good pickup, and that was £6, as you can see. So yes, adding one to the PlayStation 3 collection there. And whilst we're with PlayStation 3, we have Black Ops 2. Now, this was an opportunist pickup. Oh. What's going on? What just happened to the lights? Yes, sorry about that. Not quite sure what happened there. So, as I was saying, the next PlayStation 3 game I've got is Black Ops 2, which is a Call of Duty game, which the Call of Duty games kind of sort of go in and out of my collection. I've had Black Ops 2 before on the Xbox 360. I've completed it on there. Absolutely love it. Really love the campaign. And that was complete in really nice condition again. So, as are pretty much all the games that I get, to be honest. So, or the majority of them anyway. And that was £2 in a charity shop, which was like a sort of local sort of hospice type charity shop. I can't remember the exact name of it, or local to that CEX anyway. And I picked that up for a couple of quid because it's just a campaign that I'll play through again. I decided on the Xbox 360 over there that I was just going to keep the Modern Warfare games and all the rest of the sort of Call of Duty games, if I want them, I'm going to pick them up on PlayStation 3 and basically play through them again. So, yes. So, massively pleased to get that back into the collection. I know it's like a really common game. It's not really a very expensive game, but it's nice to give a couple of quid to charity. And, yeah, I was just really pleased to pick that up. So, next up, I've been back to Retro Mania, which, as you see, is one of my favourite places to go and have a little chat and get some new games into the collection. And a lot of what I got last time, I did actually trade a game in, so I had a little bit of trade credit there. And last time I went, I actually went looking for something that I'd seen the time before sort of thing, and I thought it had sold because it wasn't where it was sort of thing. It had been moved, and I didn't realise. And then I saw in the back of one of the cabinets a couple of the PlayStation 1 games, and I was like, oh, there it is, that's what I was after. And it's the Help charity compilation, so which, as you can see, or maybe not, was £12. And 2 times ago, sort of thing, if you know what I mean, when I went, I kind of wished that I'd picked this up, and I didn't pick it up. So this time when I went, I had a bit better look at it, and I thought, yeah, why not? It's complete in absolutely lovely condition. So, and it's nice. This is actually 3 games, and each of them have got their own separate disc with sort of alternate artwork on for the Help charity compilation type thing. And it's Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, Road Rash, and Mist. So I think that's an awesome little sort of game collection, and it's rare that I really pick very much up on PlayStation 1. So it's just really nice for me to get a sort of PlayStation 1 game, and it's basically 3 games that I'm going to really enjoy playing. So yes, there we are. And while I was there, I've decided recently basically that some of the PlayStation 4 games that I used to have in my collection that have sort of since left, some of the sort of bigger games, a lot of the AAA games and stuff, I'll buy them sort of close to when they release, I'll play them, I'll complete them, and then I'll sort of move them on and get something else. And I've decided some of the older ones, now with it being PlayStation 4 being last gen now, I kind of want to get some of the games back. So, with being on a bit of an infamous binge recently, Second Son is one of those games that I had back in the day, I absolutely loved. And I let go. And that was £3.99. And, yeah. Again, in lovely condition, as most of the stuff there is. And this, I think, is probably my favourite Infamous game, if I'm totally honest. Out of the ones that I've played, I don't think I've played Last Light, but I think I've played all the rest of them now. So, and this is definitely my favourite. So I will pick Last Light up at some point. That will be on one of my sort of little want lists. And yes, there you go. Infamous Second Son. So yeah, mad pleased to get that back into the collection. And the next game is a game that I've never actually owned, but I played it at a friend's house. I went to a friend's house back in 2016, 2017 or something, and they just bought Doom. And they were just installing it, so we're having a chat, and then got a notification up saying that Doom had installed, and my friend was like, oh, do you fancy playing a bit of it? And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to spoil it for you, you know, yeah, you go for it. And they're like, no, you play the first level, I can play it anytime. I was like, oh, okay. So I played the first sort of 20 minutes, half hour of this, and I absolutely loved it. And I have no idea why I never picked this up, to be honest. It's one of those games that I've always meant to pick up, and I've just never got around to it. So that's $4.99. And this is in absolutely gorgeous condition. Looks again like it's hardly been played. And I'll show you, there's a poster in the back of there. I'll get that out and I'll put a little screenshot of the poster there. And it's got a couple of little, I don't know if they're iron-on badges or something as well, like little sort of fabric badges with it. And yeah, this game was absolutely awesome. One of my favourite games at the time when I actually played it. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. I need to buy it. And I have no idea why I never bought it. So, well pleased to have that in the collection. That'll be getting played through at some point. Yeah, can't wait. And then last but certainly not least, from Retro Mania in Kettering, I have Aladdin and the Lion King, which is the sort of the remake of the 16-bit originals, which I remember from my childhood. And these games were absolutely fantastic back in the day. I'm hoping that they hold up. I remember them being relatively tough, to be honest. So fingers crossed, these are still absolutely awesome. I'm pretty good at avoiding spoilers for things. And to be totally honest, I've not actually looked at whether these are actually meant to be any good. Fingers crossed they are. My sensible adult also liked the look of this. And I think she's basically going to be giving both these a go as well. So that was £8.99, which I thought was a pretty good price for it, to be honest. It's a couple of games that I'll definitely play, and I'm really, really pleased to have in the collection. Just like pretty much all the games that I've got this month on PlayStation, I think that's an epic haul of games, and I'm absolutely amazingly pleased. Just wow. Love getting these games. Maybe I'm addicted to collecting PlayStation games. I don't know. I do keep picking up PS2 games despite saying I shouldn't be. I have no idea, people. So, yes. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned for some outtakes. Remember, you're awesome. I've been Soup, and I will see you in the next one, I hope. Goodbye. Games that I remember from back in the day that I absolutely loved. And, yeah, not much to show you with that one. Ooh. I caught it. Safe. Safe. Now I've hit the mic. Really? Again? Hello and welcome to my midlife crisis, where I spend copious amounts of money on PlayStation games that I'm probably not going to play. That's too close to the truth. Hello and welcome to Super Pants Gaming, where you're going to witness a complete and utter mental breakdown in addiction, where I buy a load of crack that I then attempt to sell to goats in a field in exchange for PlayStation games.